really divine and beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful and divine. Thank you for the
Yeah, Michael,
opportunity.
before going to the session, I would like to introduce you to our audience, Michael. Yeah.
Okay, are we live?
Yeah, we are live now.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Hi everybody.
Michael October is a dynamic speaker, author, singer, songwriter, and certified human services professional who work bridges personal truth and public transformation. She holds a master's in public administration and national credentials in trauma informed practice. Myrtle draws deeply from her own lived experiences, including spiritual dislocations and caregiving and personal rebuilding. Through music, keynote talks, and healing gatherings, she inspires others to rise the purpose. Her core message remains powerful: your truth is not too much, it's the map. That was a fantastic bio, Michael, and the stage is yours.
Bye. Hi everyone. I feel like I can see you all, and I'm so grateful to be here. We want to just say thank you to the conference, those who are here, beautiful people all over the globe. To all the speakers, we get to say we're global speakers now, and it's not so much about being a global speaker, is that we've reached more people, and so I'm so excited. To be here. Really, really, I am. My name is Myrtle October. I'm a speaker, advocate, performer, and artist. But above all, I'm someone who knows what it's like to lose everything. Okay? Lose everything you thought defined you. Yeah. And somehow come out more aligned and more true and more free to myself. And that is a big, big part of what the message will be today. I want to talk about something we all face in different forms: setbacks. I know we can all relate to that, but not just any kind of setback, right? Sacred setbacks. Sacred. I hope my head's not being chopped off at the top because I feel like I need to do this because now they're about to show the slides. But the kind of endings that could unalive you, that's the kind of setback I'm talking about. It, instead of it being a setback, though, it was a divine rerouting. Yes. So I'm going to start with just a little story about me, if that is okay. And I just want to again say thank you to everybody here. My hope today is that you will leave with a way to alchemize your pain into purpose, and take the things that happen outside of you and realize that a lot of them are happening for you instead of happening to you. So that's very
Hello,
important message.
Michael.
I'm sorry.
Sorry for the interruption. Could you please adjust your camera?
Adjust my camera. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Hold on 1 second. What do you need me to do to adjust it? Like bring it back
Yeah.
like this? Let me see. Once I sit back, is that going to be? Am I chopped off? My head was chopped off. Is that better?
Yeah, your face is seen off.
What's going on?
Could you please uh, up, put your camera little bit up?
You're breaking up.
Could you please set your camera little bit up?
Oh yeah, so you need like a book. Okay. Let me see here.
Or could you please sit little bit down?
Flip it. You mean bring it up like this? Okay, hold on. I don't know. Give me a second. Let me turn the camera off so I can not be so close while I'm trying to do that. Seconds. I just need a book. Is that better?
Yeah, it's better, Michael. Could you please?
But is it good? Is that okay?
Yeah.
Much better?
Could you please little bit say? Yeah, it's better. Please proceed with your presentation, Michael.
Okay. Thank
Yeah.
you. Sorry about that. We had did a check beforehand and it seemed it would be fine, but do apologize about that. So we were talking about sacred setbacks. My topic today is about sacred setbacks and how loss can just launch you. Um, when I About a few years ago, I started working with people coming in and out of jail, just the advocacy portion of it, not direct care. Did you know that 76% of people released from prison are rearrested within 5 years? And for many, the system becomes a revolving door. It just locks them into a cycle of struggle, stigma, and survival. And this was almost my story too. You're gonna hold the slide for now because I already did the welcome. You can go to the next one. I think I did already that already. Yeah. You can, yeah, second slide. This was almost my story too. Growing up, I had the bright idea I wanted to be a cheerleader. And as a little black girl growing up in the inner city, trying to join an almost all white squad, this did not go over well with the neighborhood girls. And they thought I was trying too hard, thought I was acting white. Needless to say, they confronted me in the hallway one day and things escalated. I got in a fight that day, which landed me in jail for a whole day. Sitting in that cell, I got a glimpse of what it could look like if I didn't make better choices. It wasn't a life sentence, but it was a wake up call and an experience that I did not want to repeat. But instead of becoming another statistic, I took my challenges and I turned them into stepping stones, which ultimately led me here. Yes, my name is Myrtle October, and I'm a proud Human Services Board certified practitioner. I hold a master's in public administration, but the journey here was not easy, yet it has shaped my purpose. Do you guys hear me well? Oh, good, good. Okay, thanks for the hearts and love. Yes. It shaped my purpose to help others break free from the same cycles and elevate their lives through the 3 E's framework. And we'll talk about that today, but I'm gonna share stories because I believe our stories, they don't always completely define us, but they definitely explain who we are, what we're doing, where we're going, and how we're doing it. A lot of times from our past experiences, it shapes us to become someone different and actually brings us somewhat like a paradigm shift. And I know if you all believe in polarity, we know that every situation we kind of encounter can look, there's good, if we like to call it good and evil or good and bad or whatever you want to call it, a challenge or a launching. It does have that polarized view, each thing. So being in a situation where I was kicked out of school basically for fighting, come to now in my life in 2021, I was also kicked out of a church, right? And that that experience was so monumental for me because church was my entire life. I went every day. I went all the time. So it was my entire life. And I really served with all my heart, mind, body, and soul. I really just wanted to make sure I made Jesus happy and got to heaven. So I did whatever it took, in terms of love and kindness and joy toward others. And what I realized through all the pain that I was experiencing and the rejection is that you can love yourself and trust yourself. And I want you to write that down. You can love yourself and you can trust yourself. Because that came a time for me where I had all these people around me, and then eventually there was no one but me. And I had to take that time and sit with myself, get to know myself, and see what it was that I wanted to work on, needed to change, and how did I get here? How did I get to the point where I had such, if you could look at it as humiliation, embarrassment, shame. And I wanted to sit in those feelings for a long time. I really did, but I wanted to also understand it. And I think that's what really launched me, is the fact that I was willing to look at the shadow side of myself, look at the darker sides of things that had happened around me and who I was becoming. Was I doing this for man? Was I really doing it for God? Did I really do it for myself? Did I take time out for myself? And a lot of times when we're busy and we're in the middle of things, raising children, I was homeschooling, I was in grad school, I was in church, and I was doing all these things, but I had not taken time to really look at me and look in the mirror and say, is this good for you? Are you healthy? I had several scares during that time where I went to the doctors and they gave me diagnoses. And instead of sharing it with the world, because I know how people get if they're sad or if you feel like there's something going to happen to you, you want to share it. And then everyone's now they're all sad. And so that energy culminates. And now you have this whole thing that's happening to you, but don't, um, you don't know if it's going to actually continue. So for as a test, I had a benign, no, not a benign. I had a breast. They saw something in my breast, and instead of telling everyone, I just began to pray and talk to God about it, and talk to the breast and say, listen, this is out of order. And this is a big part of, I know a lot of people don't feel comfortable doing, but we can heal ourselves. We just have to believe and trust and know and go deep within. I don't want to get off track here because I can easily get off track. So I'm going to stick to my notes here so that way I can stay true to what it was we were talking about today, which is sacred setbacks. That story for me, it happened on an Easter weekend. And right after the world had shut down, it was me grieving my father-in-law at the time, caring for my mother who was battling cancer, and trying to be everything to everyone. When I was told that I was no longer welcome in the church community I had served for years, I was devastated because one of the other things that they did was they said to my then husband at the time that he and my sons could stay, but I had to leave. And I think that might have been the hardest part of it all, that I was being removed from the Garden of Eden, if you will. And I do have a message about Eve. Someday, maybe we'll be in a different session and we'll talk more about Eve because she never got to tell her story. And I definitely felt like Eve that day, someone who had been shunned out of the garden and sent away because of a mistake that she had made, or that she did something or was curious about something, but we still don't have the full story, right? But that's a whole different story. I was devastated. And in that silence, in that silent time for me, that exclusion, that rejection, where I found radical truth, it pushed me to reclaim my voice. It pushed me to pursue comedy, to see things differently. It also pushed me to speak openly about my faith, parenting, and also I identify with being a neurodivergent woman. Also, that is the women; those are the women that I really seek to help because from a childhood we've been different and always mostly felt unaccepted in the world by people in our peer groups such as school and church and things like that. And I have so many stories, but I won't go into those right now. I had to learn to say yes to myself. And I hope you all are following me because one of the challenges I do have is ADHD and staying on track. So I find myself making sure I stick with my notes. I have some memorized quotes and things of that nature, but I really just want to show up today as my authentic self and give you guys what you fully deserve, is just to hear the story and how I overcame a lot of the challenges that I've experienced in life. Everything's socially engineered to for me to fail. I'm a black woman, black first woman, and those don't define me; they describe me, right? But I'm a black woman. I am neurodivergent as well. I come from a single mom household where most times you do not even finish high school. Out of my siblings, I'm the only one that has actually gone to grad school or even any type of college. I have a sister who finished high school, but I have two brothers who did not, and neither did my mother. So it was all the social engineering. And even today, I find myself still really wanting to reach a certain level just so that way I can reach more people. And even that has felt very challenging until these beautiful people at WYN reached out to me. And now I'm like, okay, I'm speaking globally. So that's exciting, very exciting. I can't say that I'm scared. I can definitely say I'm excited because I've been waiting for a long time for an opportunity to be able to share the story with people. And so I hope that today um, we can walk away with awareness. Being self-aware is huge, especially when you're experiencing something such as what I've experienced, being removed from a body of family. Then that was my only family. I moved here without anyone in the area that I had known, and I walked away from my entire family life. And they teach you that in the scriptures that you should, walk away from your family so that way you can be closer to God. And what I realized is that I was definitely a part of a cult type community. And cults in and of itself aren't always so bad, right? I did learn a lot while I was there. So I looked at all the good things that came from the community that I was a part of, and I was able to see through the smoke the things that were trying to destroy me. I was able to see the good in it, and I believe that's a big part of anything we're going through. You got to find the good in it. Not everything is as bad as it seems, even when it feels hard, even when it is challenging. Sometimes we're being uh, forced into just recognizing and reflecting on ourselves, and showing up better for ourselves. And a lot of times we're so outside of ourselves looking at everyone else and what they're doing and how they're doing it. And I mean, even if you see the political situations right now, we have so many things that are so easily, they can easily entangle us and pull our attention away from what's within. If we show up for ourselves, we show up so much better for the world around us. I mean, love is just going to ooze from you, kindness is going to ooze from you. So instead of getting bitter and upset and mad at everybody, I just really began to just take that pain and alchemize it into love. I really did. And I still do to this day. I just don't get involved with things that are lower vibrational, anything that causes me to deny or betray myself. I try to stay far away from it because it doesn't help me to show up better in the world. And honestly, sometimes just being at the grocery store and sharing a smile or a hello or wow, I like your hair or wow, thank you for letting me get in front of you, or here, you can get in front of me in line. You show up so much better. You show up so much better because you've decided, despite how other people have treated you, that you're going to love yourself. And a few things that I would do is go into the mirror and just tell myself I love myself. And even just waking up, I say, good morning. And I say my actual name, Myrtle. Good morning, Myrtle. And I want you to do that too. Say your name in the morning. Say your name as often as you can. And also, that awareness is where you can realize that you're not being punished. Fear has to do with punishments. And in the God I serve, the higher power that I serve, and hopefully the one that you serve too, is not one about punishment. He doesn't want any of us to suffer or perish. So his goal, if God is your girl or guy, however you choose to view higher source power, you believe that that source is for you and not against you. That source is for you and not against you. If you believe that, you can go ahead and place some hearts in there. I'd love to see them. The other part of the loss to launch from awareness to alignment. And I know I'm supposed to talk about the three E's, but one of the things I wanted to do first was go over different ways that we can connect with the self, because by speaking, performing, and doing art and comedy, I've healed myself. And I believe that we all can through the arts and through connecting with our higher source, higher power, which is within us as without us. Okay. And so if we think about awareness, that part of it is also experience. The experiences that we have around us always shape us, but we need to be aware of what it is that affects our being. Like I know one of the things I can struggle with is insecurity because I come from a background of where I shouldn't have made it, right? I shouldn't have made it. I've had situations that have happened to me or to me, for me, that have allowed me to see myself in such a way that I have the humility which guides my life purpose, which guides my philosophy. It teaches me to stay humble and not go after people for the things they do, right? A lot of people end up in jail because they want to fight or they want to get the revenge. But the revenge really is it's a false illusion. It really is. Because we truly can't give people the judgment or condemnation that they deserve, right? That is going to come through the karmatic cycle of things. And karma comes good and bad. So whatever you sow, you are going to reap. It is very important. Thank you for the hearts and love. I definitely need that. I told you I struggle with insecurity. I know I don't seem like it. I show up this way, but I was listening to one of the messages yesterday, and this is a little bit off topic because of course I already shared with you I'm ADHD and neurodivergent. We're gonna make sure we still get the message across and that you leave with tools and gems. But she said, "Do you know who you are? Do you know who you are?" And I said, "Okay." The first thing came to my mind was insecurity, but then I called my son and he said, "Smart." Oh, I wanted to cry. And then I looked deeper into my notes and I said, "Voice." I am smart and I have a voice. One of the things I knew to do was to go into solitude. Jesus did the same thing. It took 40 days and 40 nights. He went to the desert. Thank you guys for the hearts and love. God bless you. And in this moment, because I do sing, I feel the need to speak a song right now. And that's I channel. I'm not really I can do this, but like I said, but one of the things is his mercies are new every morning. Great is thy faithfulness. Great is thy faithfulness. Morning by morning, new mercies we see. And we say, all that we need, you have provided. Great is thy faithfulness. Woo! And how could I take all of the pain that I was experiencing and try to harm someone when I was still alive, still well, my children were still around me, my body was still intact, things were working out for my highest good. As well, I got the diagnosis they could not find the lump when they went back to check the breast. They could not find it. And so I believe that if I were to have had aughts in my heart, is what my grandmother used to say, I do believe that I would have probably used that chemical of pain to increase the lump in my breast. All of it kind of happened at once. All of it was happening at once. My mom was sick. I'm a caregiver. I have two children. I'm homeschooling. I'm in college still. So much was happening as a whirlwind. I'm surprised I survived it. But I do believe that the survival came from love. And I love the Christ energy when it talks about love, and how we should love our enemies. But it doesn't necessarily mean that you should stay in contact with them. You just don't do that. If somebody show you who they are, you must believe them. And there's so many people were calling and crying and saying, "Oh, I wish you were still here. What's going on?" And I definitely still felt the sting of, well, why they didn't tell them why they let me go. Instead of focusing on that ugly thought, right, and sticking to those feelings of um, shame and embarrassment, which would have created vengeance in my spirit and heart. I didn't want that for myself. because I've already experienced that time where I went to jail for the. I said, "Thank you, God," and I know what that feels like. And not that I'm one of those people that'll go doing all the crazy things. Oh my gosh, what happened? What happened? The speakers. Am I? Oh, did I not? Am I past my time? I'm sorry. 9:07. Sorry, you don't have any timers or anything.
Yeah, that's a wonderful, wonderful presentation, Michael. You are such a multi-talented, inspiring woman. Yeah, we really impressed you for your song. Yeah,
It's
we,
over. I'm
we
sorry.
have,
Okay, now it's questions and answers.
yeah, we have a few more questions from our audience. I would
Go
like to ask
ahead.
you one of them. Yeah,
I'm
what
ready.
laws reveal your hidden strength?
I'm sorry.
What laws reveal your hidden strength?
What loss
Reveal your hidden strength.
revealed my hidden strength? What loss
Yeah,
revealed my hidden strength?
yeah,
I believe that it was the loss of the community of the church that I was a part of. I had been a part of that church for 21 years. And so that I identified with being a disciple of Jesus, and I had all these sisters and brothers that I could go anywhere in the world and they'd welcome me. So when I lost that, which a lot of them still wanted me to be in their life, but I had chosen that since I was asked to leave and not communicate with anybody, I wanted to honor their decision. And a lot of people didn't understand that. But I believe by honoring their decision, I was able to go within and connect with God on a personal level that I hadn't done before. And so that definitely launched me for sure. That quiet time, that private, where no one was around. Does that answer your question? I see all the
yeah.
hearts, so obviously.
Yeah, we have a few more questions. We will directly share to your email. Please
Yes, and then do
respond.
I get a close? Do I get to say my closing?
Yeah, please close your session and your session.
You once your questions are done. Yes.
Yeah. Thank you for your valuable time, Michael.
Oh,
Please,
there's no more. You said there was
oh,
more questions or no?
yeah,
Okay,
we don't
let
have,
me.
yeah.
So if my story resonates with you, or if you're ready to turn your own pain into purpose, I'd love to stay connected. You can find. I have a link for a free download for a book that I wrote. It's called Free Them, and that book is a 90-day. It's a 90-day process for you to get close to yourself and free other people and learn more about you, as well how to connect with your community and volunteer. And I don't know if this was canceled, but thank you for your time and attention, everyone.
For your valuable time, Michael. Please be on the backstage and join the next session. Bye
Yes,
bye.
ma'am. This was very beautiful. Thank you all. Thank you so much. I don't know what to do. What to do. What to do.